Yolanda B. Supercalifragilistic. Supercalifragilistic. Yolanda B.
How many of you were told when you were children that you can be whatever you wanted to be? Whatever. We got a couple of ambitious people in the room. Great, great. I'm with the right crowd. So, you know how the self-confidence of a child zooms up through the roof when you're told that you can do whatever you want to be just based upon the potential that you have inside of you. I mean, think about how high that kid feels, the right kind of high. You see where I'm going with that. The right kind of high. I mean, that kid could even think, you know what? I could even be Superman if I wanted to. I could step off of a ledge and fly. I want you to picture that kid's face for just a moment as I flip the coin around. Now imagine being a kid that's told that you will never amount to anything. That even if you tried your best, it still wouldn't be good enough. I want you to picture that kid's face for a minute. Is there anybody in the room that can identify with that kid? Yeah, good, I got friends. Great. Yes, that kid was me, and that was a tough pill to swallow for me. Because my mom pretty much told me from the very beginning she saw great potential in me. I mean, she told me when they first put me in her arms, she looked at me and she said, "Baby, you are going to be better than best. You are going to be gooder than great. You are going to be supercalifragilistic." In fact, my mom bragged on me pretty much from that moment on. She would bend the ear of anybody who would listen. You know what? My baby is going to be so smart. No, wait a minute. My baby is going to be so outgoing. And my baby is going to give me plenty of grandbabies. After she gets married, don't get it twisted. So, listening to that as I grew up, I wanted to be that supercalifragilistic kid that she saw from the very beginning. But at the age of 10, I thought that I watched that dream go up in smoke. That day started off in my elementary school principal's office, and I watched my mom's face as he told her, "Your daughter doesn't learn normally. She will never be able to be anywhere above below average, and she'll probably have to go to a special school." And then at the advice of that principal, I got sent midday to the district psychiatrist. And I watched my mom's face as she told her, "Your daughter has a speech impediment. It's bad. She will be socially inept, and she will never be able to communicate effectively." Wait for the end, wait for the end. And then at the end of the day, I watched my mom's face as the pediatrician that we went to told her, "Your daughter's little body does not work right. She's going to end up with health problems pretty much throughout her life, and she will never be able to bear children." Now, at the end of the day, I watched my mom's face as she tucked me in. I saw disappointment, and I saw frustration, and I saw anger. And for a moment, I felt extremely ashamed. Now, as she put the covers on me, I found out I was right. I saw those emotions on my mom. She was frustrated. She was angry, and she was disappointed. But not at me. She felt those things against anything that tried to stop her baby from being that supercalifragilistic kid that she saw from the very beginning. She said, "Baby, just because people put you at the bottom of the barrel, you don't have to stay there. I'm a single mama. I have to raise you and your brother all by myself. I'm working 4 jobs and I barely make $14,000 a year." To me, that seemed like a lot, but to an adult, it's not a whole lot. She said, "Baby, I didn't let those circumstances, situations, and people stop me from being the best mama that I can be. So don't you let any circumstances, situations, and people stop you from being the best whatever you want to be." And that's a lesson that she pretty much would never let me forget. In fact, I have carried that lesson throughout my journey all the way up to today. And I can say I did pretty well for myself. She would not let them put me in a special school. I did graduate from a regular school with honors, got my bachelor's and my master's in computer science, and I'm a manager today. I gave her some grandchildren after I got married. Don't get that twisted. I have a beautiful 13-year-old daughter and 11-year-old son. And after being told again I could not have children, I have a very loud 15-month-old to pretty much say doctors don't know what they're talking about. And so much for not being able to communicate effectively and being socially inept because of a speech impediment. Being in front of you here today pretty much dispels that myth. So fellow Toastmasters, you may be sitting in your seats thinking of circumstances, situations, and people that have tried to not only start you off at the bottom of the barrel, but they tried to keep you there. Let me reiterate what my mother told me. Baby, just because they start you there does not mean that you have to stay there. Don't let any circumstances, situations, or people stop you from seeing the potential that is inside of you. Just as the great wisdom writer said in the Bible, as a man thinketh, so is he. My mother never let me forget that. And even though she's passed on and she didn't get to see everything that I've accomplished, I know that she's up in heaven bending the ear of Gabriel, St. Peter, maybe even God himself saying, look, my baby is so smart. Look at my baby, she is so outgoing. That basically means she talks a lot. And look, my baby has given me some beautiful grandbabies. Now I can take the picture that I gave you at the beginning of that child and his face, and now you can replace it with what you see today. Can't say that I'm Superman. I can't step out on a ledge and fly. But I am better than best. I am gooder than great. I am supercalifragilistic.